الله وكفى السلام عليكم همين فيلا قدوا هذا برنامجك أمور عالم كوركا كجرام ولي باكم مدها حلول كفرس ما يوم راكيب كلوبيركا أو إنجليز كلي يد قبس برنامجك سينكاين قضوا ذا كلنا سينكاي ولي باكم مدها روشكا يولي باو سوبي تجابدي جنتالا ذا بلاستيك قاردها إنز جودا وإنز جوداين برنامجك سينكود بيانا يصير كأرمها دبدا أفغانستان ولي بالله رجع يصلون إلى ليان إن موتك دمر هاي مجال taasoo bulshada caalamka farcilin badan ka bidi barnaamijkiisa ku gudbiyana ciidanka Israa'iil iyo waliba iyo markaasayti nagadeen ahaan oo liyaaban howlgal ka diri sarkaal iyo saddex askari oo xubno shaqo tirsan dhaawacyo culusna deeran barnaamijka iyo asii gudbiyana sirka maariyada Israa'iil Bazel Smotrich oo xaq jir midig ku fog wana ka tirsan xisbiga Netanyahu iyo waliba uu sakmad hay dadka Netanyahu ku ilgaan dagaalka sii wada laakiin saxdii aan muuqda kookashil lahayd armoosay barnaamijka ياسين كاينا سراكيل سردون كارير قلبات كنا ولا بايون شغان CNN إن عندما كوريا دا مركزيتي وقوية للرميسين حتى كدجا لماين جيدهره بريجاي كرن برنامجك ياسين قد بيانا قطبة سيورة كلاسين كاين برنامجك مراسي وأمورها عالم كورتيلك أرلادي همين فيلا barnaamijka Arimaha Caalamka Warteelka Arlaadi la daragtana waliba fiiriyana qodobka ka saabsan Kuuriyada waqooyi ciidamadii la ka eedeeyay dagaalkii iyo markaasiytii gudan jiido hore dagaalka Ukraine saraakiil sirdoonka reer galbeedka waliba sheegan CNN sheegana in Kuuriyada waqooyi la rumaysan haddiga ka dagaalmaan jiido hore bariga Ukraine iyadoo horey Mareykanka xaq yiji in markaasiytii cutubtirsan ciidanka Kuuriyada waqooyi deeran gobolka Kursk ee galbeedka Ruushka toddobaadin dambeeyay reer galbeedka sirdoon Kuuriyada Koonfureed iyo ka falnagaayeen in Kim Jong Un uu markaasiytii diri waan Ruushkan diri walka badan tumi ilaa makun askari siyon taageeran dagaalka Ruushka ee isku wada gudaha Ukraine balse lamada dal kooshan wali shacab ka qaadna markii la hakutaw muuqaal baraha bulshada la ka baahi ee muujiyaan roogitaanka ciidanka Kuuriyada waqooyi ee gudaha Ukraine barnaamijka Arimaha Caalamka ee Warteelka Arlaadi la daragtay حق جركا إسرائيلي جاء وسير كمالية دلكاسي بالزر سموتريس يا ولا باوس مركاسيتي يا حق جرمي دكتفوق ولا باوس خطبته سجدي كال ودادن سكوان وزير دي إسرائيل كوري إسرائيليين تي حزب شيء سوق شيء لما شدا أسكرتيو دات كإسرائيليين تا ديرتي ترى مركاسيتي نوليس هرين أرجنا ولنا مركز وسا هرين عدي دجال قزة إن لبنان يأكل من خسارة وخسارة يوليشوا مرنا barnaamijka Arimaha Caalamka la daragta waliba fiiriyana waa xarun lagu farsameeyo maraakiibta nuclearka Ingiriiska dab xoogan qabsadi dabkan waliba dhaliyay in lama qofood isbitaal la dhaga deegaanka markaasid ku sugan Gambia ee waqooyi galbeed dalka Ingiriiska saas waliba hawrida warbaahinta BBC Ruushkana waliba sheegay in tijaabadii korreeyay gantalada plastikada ee Suubiyan qaaradaha iyo in isgudbaan gantaladan hana sona qaado koran madaxyada nuclearka iyadoo markaasayti la adeegsado gantalada shalay Yaris Balfa iyo Siniva oo la kiridi maraakiibta qaadeen gantalada nuclearka Kanizaza Olik iyo markaasayti Novomoskovsk gantalada Longordo sidii ka dhawaaqday wasaaradda difaaca Ruushka oo sheegtay in hubka la tijaabi waa la tijaabi intii ku gudi jira dhoolatuska talaaladii shalay Suubiyan ciidanka waa Ruushka والهايكا روشكا فلاديمير بوتين يانا وليبا وسا آلد فوغان أرقا كلا حريري سراكيلو كوريا ميليتريغا دورشدا نوفمبر أمريكان كفودها سارنت كمالا هاريس والهايكو حيغان كأمريكان كمشرع حزبيغا ديمقراطيغا أو ترتم دونالد جي ترامب مشرع حزبيغا جمهوريغا يا خطبتي تاريخيغا جيدي نوفمبر هالمالنغا كيرسن ولنا نفلها إن دورشدا دوان ديدا gudaha November dhiyaasa Mareykanka waliba galay xaalad ka gedisan xaaladaha kala waliba saameynta kuwiin adduunka ku weelada naga Mareykanka lamadan qof lan kala doorada dadka saameynta ku weelada sanadtan waliba ku mid waa Benjamin Netanyahu ra'iisul wasaaraha Israa'iil oo filadaha ay lankala doordo noocaas nagdo soo saa anka falceli dagaalada Sakahay Ukraine Hezbollah Hamas Lebanon iyo meelo kale oo caalamka kamid ah xoutiyiinta ka jiraan waato Harris khudbadiya.
And when she concludes, our ABC News Live team will be here to break down the details of her plan. Let's listen in.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, and thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives. Thank you, everyone. So listen, 1 week from today, you will have the chance to make a decision that directly impacts your life, the life of your family, and the future of this country we love. And it will probably be the most important vote you ever cast. And this election is more than just a choice between two parties and two different candidates. It is a choice about whether we have a country rooted in freedom for every American or ruled by chaos and division. Many of you watching have probably already cast your ballots. But I know many others are still considering who to vote for, or whether you'll vote at all. So tonight, I will speak to everyone about the choice and the stakes in this election. Look, we know who Donald Trump is. He is the person who stood at this very spot nearly 4 years ago and sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol to overturn the will of the people in a free and fair election. An election that he knew he lost. Americans died as a result of that attack. 140 law enforcement officers were injured because of that attack. And while Donald Trump sat in the White House watching as the violence unfolded on television, he was told by his staff that the mob wanted to kill his own vice president. And Donald Trump responded with 2 words: so what? America, that's who Donald Trump is. And that's who is asking you to give him another 4 years in the Oval Office. Not to focus on your problems, but to focus on his. And Donald Trump has told us his priorities for a second term. He has an enemies list of people he intends to prosecute. He says that one of his highest priorities is to set free the violent extremists who insulted those law enforcement officers on January 6th. Donald Trump intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him. People he calls, quote, the enemy from within. America, this is not a candidate for president who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power. Donald Trump has spent a decade trying to keep the American people divided and afraid of each other. That is who he is. But America, I am here tonight to say that is not who we are. That is not who we are. That is not who we You see, what Donald Trump has never understood is that e pluribus unum, out of many, one, isn't just a phrase on a dollar bill. It is a living truth about the heart of our nation. Our democracy doesn't require us to agree on everything. In fact, we like good arguments from time to time. Just think of your own family, right? It's not the American way to not have disagreements. We don't shy away from robust debate. In fact, we like a good debate, don't we? We like a good debate. And the fact that someone disagrees with us does not make them the enemy within. That's right. They are family, neighbors, classmates, co-workers. They are fellow Americans. And as Americans, we rise and fall together. America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. It is time to stop pointing fingers. We have to stop pointing fingers and start locking arms. It is time to turn the page on the drama and the conflict, the fear and division. It is time for a new generation of leadership in America. And I am ready to offer that leadership as the next President of the United States of America. Now look, let me say, I recognize this has not been a typical campaign. Even though I've had the honor of serving as your vice president for the last 4 years, I know that many of you are still getting to know who I am. Well, let me tell you, I am someone who has spent most of my career outside of Washington, D.C., so I know that not all the good ideas come from here. I am not afraid of tough fights against bad actors and powerful interests, because for decades, as a prosecutor and a top law enforcement officer of our biggest state, I won fights against big banks that ripped off homeowners.
waayahay guud ahaan waliba intaa ka afmarana barnaamijka amuura siyaasadda warteelka Arlaadi waa amuuraha caalamka ee warteelka Arlaadi hamiin fayl